Have you ever forced yourself to drink 8 glasses of water a day? And when you weren't thirsty, maybe you've been told it's the golden rule for health. But what if that advice isn't actually based on solid science? Let's clear this up. The idea that everyone needs exactly 8 glasses of water per day sounds simple and convincing, but the truth is your body doesn't work on a fixed number like that. Your hydration needs change constantly depending on your environment, your diet, your activity level, and even your stress. Think about this for a moment. If you're sitting in a cool room all day, barely moving, do you really need the same amount of water as someone working outside in the heat, sweating heavily? Of course not. Your body is far more intelligent than a one-size-fits-all rule. Your body already has a built-in system to tell you when you need water. It's called thirst. When your body needs hydration, it signals you. Ignoring that signal and forcing excessive water can actually dilute important electrolytes like sodium and potassium, which your cells depend on. Now, here's something most people overlook. Hydration is not just about water. It's about electrolytes. Without the right balance of minerals, water alone can't properly hydrate your cells. This is why some people drink a lot of water but still feel tired, dizzy, or even dehydrated. Another key point is your diet. If you're eating foods rich in water-like vegetables and fruits, are already getting a significant amount of hydration from your food. Someone eating a fresh, whole food diet doesn't need the same water intake as someone eating dry, processed foods. Let's also talk about caffeine for a second. Many people believe coffee dehydrates you, so they try to compensate by drinking extra water. In reality, your body adapts to caffeine, and moderate coffee consumption doesn't dehydrate you the way people think. Now, what happens if you overdo water intake? You can actually flush out minerals, leading to symptoms like headaches, fatigue, muscle cramps, and even brain fog. In extreme cases, it can become dangerous. So instead of following a rigid rule like 8 glasses a day, a better approach is to listen to your body. Drink when you're thirsty. Pay attention to the color of your urinate. Should be light yellow, not completely clear and not dark. That's a simple and reliable indicator. Also consider adding a pinch of natural salt to your water occasionally, especially if you sweat a lot or follow a low-carb diet. This helps maintain proper electrolyte balance and supports true hydration at the cellular level. The takeaway here is simple. Your body isn't a machine that runs on fixed numbers. It's adaptive, responsive, and highly intelligent. When you tune into its signals instead of blindly following myths, you support your health in a much more natural and effective way. So next time you hear someone say you must drink 8 glasses of water a day, this hydration isn't about hitting a number. It's about giving your body what it actually needs when it needs it. Thirst is one of the most powerful and intelligent signals your body has, yet it's often ignored because of outdated advice telling people to drink a fixed amount of water every day. The body is designed with precise regulatory systems that constantly monitor hydration status at the cellular level. When fluid levels begin to drop, specialized receptors in the brain, particularly in the hypothalamus, detect changes in blood concentration and trigger the sensation of thirst. This is not a random feeling or a weak suggestion. It is a highly refined survival mechanism that has kept humans alive for thousands of years without the need for measuring cups or water tracking apps. When you rely on thirst, you're working with your body instead of against it. The idea that you need to override thirst and drink on a schedule assumes that your body is somehow incapable of managing own hydration, which is simply not true. In reality, forcing water when you're not thirsty can dilute important electrolytes, especially sodium, which plays a critical role in nerve function, muscle contraction, and maintaining proper fluid balance inside and outside your cells. Without enough sodium, water can cannot be effectively absorbed into cells, meaning you could be drinking large amounts of water and still not be properly hydrated at the cellular level. Another important factor is that thirst is influenced by many variables, making it dynamic rather than fixed. For example, if you're in a hot environment, your body loses more water through sweat, and your thirst naturally increases to compensate. If you're physically active, especially during exercise, your hydration needs go up, and again, your body responds by making you feel thirstier. On the other hand, if you're sitting in a cool environment with minimal activity, your body doesn't require as much water, and your thirst decreases accordingly. This adaptability is exactly why a one-size-fits-all recommendation like 8 glasses per day doesn't make sense. Diet also plays a significant role in hydration and thirst signals. Foods contain varying amounts of water, and when you consume water-rich foods such as vegetables and fruits, your body receives hydration along with essential minerals and nutrients. This reduces the need to drink as much water separately. On the other hand, if your diet consists mainly of dry, processed foods, your body may require more fluids, and thirst will naturally increase to reflect that need. Ignoring thirst in both scenarios disrupts the body's natural balance. Hormones also influence thirst and fluid regulation. One of the key hormones involved is antidiuretic hormone, which helps control how much water your kidneys retain. When your body needs more water, this hormone signals the kidneys to conserve fluid, reducing urine output. When you're well hydrated, the hormone decreases, allowing excess water to be excreted. This system works continuously in the background, fine-tuning your hydration status. Thirst works alongside this hormonal system, giving you a conscious signal to drink when necessary. There is also a common misconception that by the time you feel thirsty, you are already severely dehydrated. In most healthy individuals, this is not accurate. Thirst begins early in the dehydration process, long before it becomes dangerous. It is a preventive signal, not an emergency one. Of course, there are exceptions, such as in elderly individuals or certain medical conditions where thirst perception may be impaired, but for the average person, thirst is a reliable guide. Overriding thirst by drinking excessive amounts of water can lead to a condition known as hyponatremia, where sodium levels in the blood become too diluted. This can cause symptoms like headaches, nausea, confusion, and in severe cases, more serious complications. While this condition is not extremely common, it highlights the importance of balance and respecting the body's signals. More water is not always better, especially when it disrupts electrolyte balance. Another overlooked aspect is that thirst is not just about volume, but also about quality. Sometimes when you feel thirsty, your body is actually craving minerals rather than just plain water. This is why simply drinking large amounts of purified or distilled water without any mineral content may not fully satisfy your body's needs. Including a natural source of electrolytes, whether through food or adding a small amount of mineral-rich salt to your water, can make hydration more effective. Modern habits can sometimes interfere with natural thirst signals. For example, constantly sipping water throughout the day without allowing thirst to build can dull your awareness of your body's cues. Similarly, relying heavily on flavored drinks or sugary beverages can confuse your body's signals and lead to overconsumption without proper hydration. Reconnecting with genuine thirst means paying attention to your body and responding appropriately, rather than following rigid external rules. It's also important to understand that thirst can vary from person to person. Factors such as body size, metabolism, health status, and even altitude can influence how much water you need. Someone with a higher muscle mass or a more active lifestyle may naturally require more fluids, while someone with a sedentary routine may need less. This individual variability further reinforces why a fixed recommendation cannot apply to everyone equally. Paying attention to additional signs can help you better understand your hydration status. Urine color is a simple and practical indicator. A light yellow color generally suggests proper hydration, while very dark urine may indicate a need for more fluids. Completely clear urine, on the other hand, may suggest overhydration. Skin condition can also provide subtle clues about your hydration balance. When you begin to trust your body's thirst mechanism, you shift away from a rigid external rule toward a more intuitive and responsive approach. This not only supports better hydration, but also helps maintain the delicate balance of fluids and electrolytes that your body depends on for optimal function. When people people think about hydration, they usually focus only on water, assuming that the more they drink, the more hydrated they become. But the reality is much more complex. True hydration is not just about filling your body with water, it's about how effectively that water is absorbed, distributed, and used at the cellular level. This process depends heavily on electrolytes, especially minerals like sodium and potassium, which play a central role in maintaining fluid balance inside and outside your cells. Water by itself does not automatically enter your cells and hydrate them efficiently. It needs the assistance of electrolytes to move across cell membranes and maintain the right concentration gradients. Sodium, in particular, is essential for controlling the amount of water in your bloodstream and tissues. It helps regulate blood volume and pressure, and it works closely with potassium, which is responsible for maintaining proper fluid levels inside the cells. These two minerals act like a balancing system, ensuring that water is distributed correctly throughout the body. When you drink water without adequate electrolytes, especially in large amounts, you can dilute the sodium levels in your blood. This dilution disrupts the balance that your body carefully maintains, and it can make it harder for water to stay where it's needed. Instead of hydrating your cells, excess water may simply pass through your system and be excreted, leading to frequent urination without real hydration. This is why some people feel like they're constantly drinking water but never truly feel refreshed, energized. Electrolytes also play a crucial role in nerve signaling and muscle function. Sodium and potassium create electrical gradients across cell membranes, which are necessary for transmitting nerve impulses and allowing muscles to contract and relax properly. Without the right balance of these minerals, you may experience symptoms like muscle cramps, weakness, fatigue, or even irregular heart rhythm. These symptoms are often mistakenly attributed to dehydration alone, when in reality, they may be caused by an electrolyte imbalance. Sweating is another factor that highlights the importance of electrolytes. When you sweat, you're not just losing water, you're also losing sodium and other minerals. If you replace only the water without replenishing the lost electrolytes, you can further dilute your sodium levels and worsen the imbalance. Work in hot environments or live in warmer climates, or live in warmer climates, or live in warmer climates. In these situations, proper hydration requires both water and electrolytes to restore what has been lost. Diet has a significant impact on your electrolyte status. Whole, unprocessed foods tend to be rich in potassium and other essential minerals. Vegetables, for example, are excellent sources of potassium, which helps counterbalance sodium and supports healthy fluid distribution within cells. On the other hand, highly processed diets may lack sufficient potassium, while sometimes containing excessive or imbalanced forms of sodium, which can disrupt the body's natural equilibrium. Achieving proper hydration through diet means focusing on nutrient-dense foods that provide these essential minerals in the right proportions. There is also a growing trend of people intentionally reducing sodium intake to very low levels due to concerns about blood pressure. While excessive sodium can be problematic in certain contexts, too little sodium can also create issues, especially when combined with high water intake. Sodium is not just a substance to be avoided, it is a vital electrolyte that your body requires to function properly. When sodium levels drop too low, it can lead to symptoms such as dizziness, headaches, low energy, and difficulty concentrating. Another important aspect is how electrolytes influence the body's ability to retain water. Antidiuretic hormone and other regulatory systems depend on adequate sodium levels to function effectively. When electrolyte balance is maintained, your body can hold onto the right amount of water, preventing both dehydration and overhydration. Without this balance, you may either lose too much water or retain it inappropriately, leading to swelling or other complications. Many people who follow specific diets, such as low carbohydrate or ketogenic diets, may notice changes in their hydration needs. These diets can lead to increased water and sodium loss, especially in Hindita, Result: individuals on these diets often need to increase their intake of electrolytes to maintain proper hydration and avoid symptoms like fatigue, headaches, and muscle cramps. This further illustrates that water alone is not enough. The context of your diet and metabolism matters significantly. The type of water you drink can also influence hydration. Highly purified or distilled water lacks minerals, which means it does not contribute to your electrolyte intake. While it can still hydrate you to some extent, relying exclusively on mineral-free water without compensating through diet or added electrolytes may not provide optimal hydration. In contrast, natural mineral water contains small amounts of essential electrolytes that can support better fluid balance. Understanding the role of electrolytes changes the way you approach hydration. Instead of focusing solely on quantity, you begin to consider quality and balance. Adding a small pinch of natural, unrefined salt to your water or ensuring that your meals include potassium-rich foods can make a significant difference in how your body utilizes the water you consume. This approach supports hydration at the cellular level rather than just increasing fluid intake. Another subtle but important point is how quickly you drink water. Consuming large amounts of water in a short period can overwhelm your body's ability to maintain electrolyte balance. Spacing out your fluid intake and allowing your body to process it gradually can help maintain stability. This aligns with the idea of listening to your body's signals rather than forcing a specific amount within a fixed time frame. Electrolytes also influence how you feel mentally and physically. Proper balance supports clear thinking, steady energy levels, and overall well-being. When this balance is disrupted, even slightly, it can affect your mood, focus, and performance. This is why true hydration goes beyond quenching thirst. It involves supporting the intricate that keep your body functioning smoothly. Recognizing that water alone is not enough allows you to move away from simplistic advice and toward a more complete understanding of hydration. By paying attention to electrolytes and maintaining the right balance, we can maintain the right balance of electrolytes in the body. You can ensure that the water you drink is actually serving its purpose inside your body, rather than just passing through it without delivering real benefits. Water needs are not fixed, and one of the biggest misconceptions is believing that everyone requires the same amount every single day. The reality is that your body's demand for water is constantly changing based on multiple factors, including what you eat, where you live, and how active you are. Treating hydration like a rigid rule ignores how adaptive and responsive the human body really is. Diet plays a major role in determining how much water you actually need. Foods are not just sources of calories, they also contain varying amounts of water. Fresh vegetables are naturally rich in water and can contribute significantly to your daily hydration. For example, foods like cucumbers, lettuce, and watermelon are composed mostly of water, which means that when you consume them, you are already supplying your body with fluids in a more balanced form, often accompanied by electrolytes and nutrients. This reduces the amount of plain water you need to drink separately. On the other hand, if your diet consists mainly of dry, processed foods such as packaged snacks, refined grains, or fast food, your body will require more water to help digest and process these foods. These types of foods often lack natural moisture and may also contain higher amounts of sodium in less balanced forms, which can increase your thirst. In this case, your body will signal the need for more fluids, not because of a universal requirement, but because of the specific nature of what you are eating. Climate is another powerful factor that influences hydration needs. In a hot and humid environment, your body loses more water through sweat as it tries to regulate temperature. This increased fluid loss naturally raises your need for water, and your thirst mechanism adjusts accordingly. In contrast, if you are in a cooler climate, especially one with lower humidity, your body does not lose as much water through sweating, and your overall requirement decreases. Even seasonal changes can impact how much water you need, with hotter months generally increasing demand and cooler months reducing it. Activity level further adds to this variability. When you engage in physical activity, especially exercise that raises raises your heart rate and body temperature, you are engaging in a form of exercise that can help improve your overall health and well-being. Your body begins to sweat in order to cool itself down. This process leads to fluid loss, which must be replaced to maintain proper function. The more intense or prolonged the activity, the greater the loss of both water and electrolyte. Naturally need more fluids compared to someone who spends most of their day sitting. Even the type of activity matters. Endurance exercises like running or cycling can result in sustained sweating over long periods, while short bursts of high-intensity activity may cause less overall fluid loss, but still increase hydration needs temporarily. Outdoor activities under direct sunlight can amplify this effect, while indoor, climate-controlled environments may reduce it. Again, this highlights how fluid requirements are constantly shifting rather than staying fixed. Another often overlooked factor is body size and composition. Larger individuals or those with higher muscle mass tend to require more water because their bodies contain more tissue that needs hydration. Muscle tissue in particular holds a significant amount of water, so individuals with greater muscle mass may naturally have higher fluid needs. Conversely, smaller individuals or those with lower activity levels may require less water overall. Metabolism also influences hydration. People with faster metabolic rates may generate more heat and require more fluids to support bodily processes. Additionally, certain physiological states, such as pregnancy or breastfeeding, are important to consider when evaluating a patient's health. Can increase fluid requirements because the body is supporting additional biological functions. These situations clearly demonstrate that a single number, like 8 glasses, cannot account for the wide range of individual needs. Another important aspect is how different beverages and foods impact hydration. While water is the primary source of hydration, other drinks and foods contribute as well. Soups, herbal teas, and even certain beverages like milk provide fluids along with nutrients. This means that total fluid intake is not limited to plain water alone. Ignoring these sources and focusing only on counting glasses of water can lead to an inaccurate understanding of how much hydration you are actually getting. At the same time, certain substances can influence fluid balance. For instance, caffeine has a mild diuretic effect, but regular consumers often develop a tolerance, reducing this impact. This means that moderate consumption of coffee or tea does not necessarily lead to significant dehydration for most people. Alcohol, however, has a stronger diuretic effect and can increase fluid loss, which may require additional hydration to compensate. Forcing water intake without considering these variables can lead to imbalances. Drinking excessive amounts of water when your body does not need it can dilute essential electrolytes, particularly sodium. This dilution can interfere with normal bodily functions and may lead to symptoms such as headaches, fatigue, nausea, or difficulty concentrating. In extreme cases, it can result in more serious conditions related to electrolyte imbalance. Listening to your body becomes essential in this context. Thirst is not the only signal you can rely on, but it is a primary one. Other indicators, such as urine color, frequency of urination, and overall energy levels, can provide additional clues about your hydration status. Light yellow urine generally indicates adequate hydration, while very dark urine suggests a need for more fluids. Completely clear urine may indicate that you are drinking more water than necessary. Cultural habits and popular advice often encourage people to drink water constantly throughout the day, even when they are not thirsty. While staying hydrated is important, constantly sipping water without a genuine need can disrupt your body's natural regulation systems. It can also reduce your awareness of thirst, making it harder to recognize when your body truly needs fluids. The timing of water intake can also vary based on your routine. For example, you may feel more thirsty after meals, during or after exercise, or in the morning after waking up. These patterns are normal and reflect your body's changing needs. Trying to spread a fixed number of glasses evenly throughout the day may not align with these natural fluctuations. Altitude is another factor that can influence hydration. At higher altitudes, the body tends to lose more water through respiration, and the air is often drier, which can increase increase fluid requirements. People traveling to or living in such environments may notice an increase in thirst and a need to drink more fluids. Health conditions and medications can also affect hydration needs. Certain conditions may increase fluid loss or alter how the body regulates water, while some medications may have diuretic effects. These situations require a more personalized approach to hydration rather than relying on general guidelines. Understanding that water needs are influenced by diet, climate, and activity level allows you to approach hydration in a more flexible and informed way. Instead of forcing yourself to meet a predetermined number, you can respond to your body's signals and the conditions around you. The approach not only supports better hydration, but also helps maintain the balance of fluids and electrolytes that your body depends on for proper function.